Hey, this is Mark Moore, aka Tuxedo Mark, in various places on the internet. It's 9:45 a.m. according to a computer clock on Thursday, April 23rd, 2015. This is my review of original Sailor Moon anime episode number 42, Sailor Venus's Past, Minako's Tragic Love. This episode originally aired in Japan on January 30th, 1993. First of all, there's no pre-title sequence in this episode. After the upcoming episode preview, it starts with the title screen. Let's see. It's mentioned that it's winter in this episode, so we're still going with the winter thing. It's funny that there's a meeting at the arcade late at night, which, how'd they get in there at night? How's Luna get in there at night? But, whatever. So, they're all in there, and, Usagi's tired and hungry. They were searching various places. I forget for what now, but they decided to call it a night. Usagi's tired and hungry. And then later on in the bedroom when Luna says Usagi should get rest and nourish herself while because she's angsting over Mamoru and she's having nightmares and stuff. So Usagi starts eating, and then Artemis jumps through her open window and pounces her, and she starts choking on the thing. I think it was a pork bun or something. I'm not sure, but that's funny. Usagi's on the bed, choking. She's like, a little help here. But Artemis and Luna just keep having a conversation like normal. But Usagi manages to swallow it, so Luna's not that impressed. It's weird, but it's funny. This episode goes into Minako's past, 6 months in the past, actually. So I guess that would place the flashback scenes around, I don't know, July of 1992? I don't know. But, it's during her past as Sailor V, and she had gone to England and she had rescued some kid from a street thug or something. So she befriended some kind of Interpol officer named Katerina, and they became friends, and she became like a big sister to her, and Minako became like a little sister to her. But then Minako introduced her to Alan, a guy that she had a crush on, and she did realize that Katerina and Alan had fallen in love. And at one point when Minako and Katerina were investigating a warehouse, Minako had gone to England, by the way, investigating some Dark Kingdom connection or whatever. Anyway, Minako goes into a warehouse, a grenade is thrown inside and it blows up. She survives, she gets out of there, but Katerina believes she's dead, and when she sees Katerina and Alan together and Alan's comforting her, she realizes they'd fallen in love. And she thinks the best thing to do to not get in the way of their love is to make them believe she's dead. Which is a horrible thing to do. You do not do that. It doesn't matter if you think that, you'll be in a way, you can just take yourself out of the way. You do not let your friends believe you're dead. That's horrible. But, okay, back. I just covered the entire flashback, but back to present time. Kunzite had found out of Katarina's connection to Sailor V, so he makes her to Dark Kingdom Minion to find a way to lead her to the other Sailor Guardians. Minako doesn't do that, so Kunzite just goes out and transforms Katarina into a monster. And while they're fighting at the dock or whatever, Luna suggests that they escape on a speedboat. Why? Why would Luna, of all people, suggest running away, and why when it's just a standard monster? I mean, Luna had, or whoever, they got the monster into the water. It lost its grip on Sailor Venus, so why escape? Why don't they just handle it? Also, the monster, Katarina, she is completely shocked that Sailor V is Sailor Venus. Oh my god. Yeah. Jeez, whatever. Anyway, also, part of Luna's plan is Usagi's going to pilot the boat. Usagi points out she doesn't know anything about piloting a boat, so Luna's like, then turn yourself into a real sailor. So Usagi uses the disguise pen and does that. But how would using the disguise pen give you the ability of whatever you're disguising yourself as? That has never been brought up before. And yet somehow Usagi can pilot the boat. Whatever. They go over to a large abandoned ship that's anchored in the water or whatever, just to hide out. I don't know what the plan was going to be from that point, but they sit around at the bar or whatever, and that's where Minako gives her backstory. So back in the present time, Minako has to plead with Usagi to save Katarina. She's like, please save her. And Usagi's like, why? She betrayed you. And Minako's like, it's the Dark Kingdom's fault. And Alan was the one that chose her. And Alan chose her, so it's like, well, she doesn't know that Alan chose her or she chose Alan. But anyway, so it's kind of, it's weird that Minako has to plead with Usagi to save her friend. To save Minako's friend. What was Usagi going to do? Was she going to kill her? I mean, it's never specifically addressed, but what was Usagi's plan? And why does Minako have to convince her to use Moon Healing Escalation? That is pretty disturbing. Anyway, Katarina remembers everything. She knows that Sailor Venus is Minako. So here's a question. If the humans that have been turned into monsters remember everything about being a monster, how come African Safari Girl or whatever that Matoki had known, how come she was surprised when Kunzite, or no, Endymion, I think, returned to turn her back into one of the 7th grade monsters? Why was she surprised about that? And how many other people that have been turned into monsters, how many of them remember? How many of them have seen the Sailor Senshi transform? Do they remember this stuff? I don't think it's ever going to be addressed, but something to think about. I mean, if Katarina can remember, then you know. Anyway, Mamoru doesn't talk in this episode. He's in this dark energy suntan booth thing, for lack of a better term, being turned evil again. He was put into that at the end of the previous episode, I believe. At the end of the episode, Minako's seeing a ship off. I don't think they address it, but I think Katarina's meant to be on that ship, going back to England from Tokyo. On what? A cruise ship? What the heck? Anyway. But other than that, it is a nice scene. The other girls want to say something to Minako. They want to go over and cheer her up, and Usagi's like, no, we should leave her alone. She's more mature than any of us. She'll be fine. And Minako's looking at a photo of herself and Alan, but the wind takes it out of her hand and flies away, and you hear Minako's thoughts. It's a very melancholy scene, and then you got these freeze-framed painting-like shots where it's really melancholy, and it's a downbeat ending. But I really like it. I like this episode. Whether it's important or not, I guess it's a matter of debate. There's this one part in the Dark Kingdom where Queen Metalia says that Endymion will be her successor, which is kind of strange. What, is she giving up hope already, or what? But I don't know if it's really important for like the present time stuff. It's important in filling out Minako's past, but isn't important overall. I don't know. I'll leave that to you to decide, I guess. But I guess that's it, and it's 9:58 a.m. and that's it. Thanks for watching.